All right, all right. Let's go back here. Give a few moments. Rolly Beer has just subscribed. Wow, I haven't even started. I wonder if that's a little delayed there. Oh well. All right, guys, I'm gonna give a few moments here, let people come on in. Yeah, Prime OG, we are back indeed. This is gonna be a quick one. I'm gonna try to get through it rather quickly. I had a little bit of time tonight, so that's why I figured I'd squeeze this extra stream tonight. So let's give a few moments here. I'm just gonna let people slowly filter in, hopefully. If not, we'll just get the party started ourselves. We're here in Portland, by the way. This is where we ended our stream earlier today when we arrived on the, what was it, the Simworks Studios Kodiak 100. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the Citation 10 here from Portland and head down over to Vegas. So guys, welcome back. Captain Gonzo with that Flight Sim channel. I wanted to try something a little different. He's saying, I wish I could join, but I'm at a restaurant. Hey, brother. Yeah, don't give up some good food for flight simming, man. Never. Never. It's all good, man. You're one of the VIPs here, man. You've been consistent, so. All right, guys. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to be flying from Portland to Vegas on the Citation 10. And we're going to be testing out Beyond ATC. It's been quite a while since I've flown using Beyond ATC. You guys know that we like to use Say Intentions predominantly, but I've been seeing really good feedback from the crowd and people saying that Beyond ATC is doing really good. So we're going to check it out tonight. We are going to be Upjet 902. This is Wheels Up, real life operator of the Citation 10. Let's go through the pre-flight real quick, remove all the static covers. FlightFX just never fails to deliver amazing products. It's been several months since I've actually done a full legit flight on the Citation 10, so I'm gonna be rusty, but I'm gonna give it my best shot here. Let's check the APU exhaust. It is nice and clear. Engines are clear. We're just running. I'm gonna keep the chocks on. Let's make sure the single point pressure refueling door is closed. Good. I've already gone ahead and synchronized my fuel and my payload with SimBrief. There we go. Look at my passengers just eagerly waiting for me. I love it when passengers show up before the crew. I'm just kidding, guys. When I worked the ramp, pilots hated that. They absolutely hated it. And as you can imagine, you're supposed to be chauffeuring them around the skies, and they're there before you've even pre-flighted the aircraft. Never a good time. All right, so let's go through this. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Let's get electrical power, get battery 1 and 2 on. Let's arm the emergency exit lights. Standby power. We're going to test it first. Do we have the green light? Nope. We're going to go to on. Avionics power. ECAS on. While that's happening, let's go ahead and turn the APU master on. Let's do a test. There's the CAS alert. APU fire. We got the master warning. APU relay engage, APU fail. Cool. Let's start up the APU. Oh, getting laggy here. Uh-oh. What's happening? As the APU fires on, let's go ahead and run through some tests. I like to do this. Smoke detection. Landing gear horn. Fire warning. Thrust reversed. You can see the 3 on either side illuminated. Flaps fail. There's the precision indicator, windshield temperature, overspeed, AOA, stick shaker, and annunciator test. All the lights should be on. Yep, good jet. That's a good jet. So let's go ahead and throw the IRS switches to align. Let's get our APU generator online. Get bleed air on. Javier coming in and saying These two massive engines make this plane a unique piece of fine art. Yeah, man, the Citation 10 is, I think, arguably one of the sexiest aircraft to ever exist. And just like the UC, right, with those power plants and those wings, it is a true speed devil, or speed demon, I guess. Okay, let's go ahead and set up our flight plan here. Let's go pause in it. We're going to load. There we go. GPS position. Flight plan, KPDX. We're going to Las Vegas. KLAS. Let's pick up our sim brief dispatch here. Looks like 10 left, and we're expecting the Cascade 4 puts transition. So let's go ahead and set that up, shall we? 10 left, Cascade 4, puts, activate. Hey, Captain Atlas, greetings. What's going on? Welcome aboard. All right, so we're going into river. There's puts. After that, we go direct to Rufus. Cool little name. Then on Rufus, we're going to join Quebec 13. So we're going to type Quebec 13 decimal Lomia. That's how you put in an airway, by the way, if you're not familiar. Quebec 13 is an airway. You type it in, .Lomia. Now the FMS recognizes that's an airway. After Lomia, we go direct Tequila. Oh, Tequila, you say? And that's going to be the cocktail for arrival. Well, wouldn't you know? So we're going to go to nav, arrival, and let's select the runway. We're going to set up our approach and our arrival profile here. So it looks like we're anticipating 26 left. And you know what? Let's go for the ILS. Let's do the ILS Yankee, 26 left. We're going to go with vectors. Look at that bourbon. I love the names. Cocktail 4 is our arrival. Tequila transition as we planned. There you go. You've got your arrival profile. 26 left, vectors to the ILS Yankee, and via the Tequila transition, cocktail for arrival. Activate. Good. Got altitude constraints wherever they are applicable. Discontinuity, that's fine. Performance in it. That looks good. Next. Climb, I always adjust this on the Citation 10. I go 260. Cruise speed, max speed. Yep, that's what I like to see. Descent 300. Why not? We're cruising today at 37,000, so that looks good. Yep, transition altitude 18,000, speed and altitude limits 250 at 10,000. Good. We're going to sync the EFB here because remember, I've already done it through the VAMS, the Virtual Aircraft Management System, which I'll show you guys if you're not familiar. That's what FlightFX calls their custom EFB. We're going to confirm. Cruising, and no, I did not set. Can I change it here? Flight level 370. Whoops. Oh, it's not active. No, that's not what I wanted. So let's go back to performance in it. I should have just typed it in. Yeah, that's not what I want. I want 370. Let's give me 390 as optimum. But yeah, I'm going to stick to what I filed with ATC. Confirming it. There we go. Estimated time in route an hour and a half. It'll be faster. Guaranteed. Fuel required 4,100 pounds. And fuel, that's just a mismatch or miscalculation thing that the FMS does. Don't touch it. I used to say incorrectly fuel on minimums. That's not what it is. Distance 664 miles. Fuel remaining 2,300 pounds. That's good with me. 10 left. We have to tune into ATIS. So let's see what Beyond ATC, how it sounds, because I haven't tuned into ATIS in a while. Or like I said, I haven't used Beyond ATC in a while. 128.35. 128.35. We're going to go to nav. Tune. 35. Com 1.
Flight restrictions are in effect for Portland. Advise on initial contact. You have information.
Tango.
Portland Airport information. Tango 0005 Zulu. Wind 100 at 13. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 6,000. Ceiling 9,000. Broken. 25000 broken. Temperature 12, dew point 03, altimeter 2978, landing and departing runways 10 right, 10 left, temporary flight restrictions are in effect for Portland. Advise on initial contact you have information Tango.
We've got Tango. Let's go to clearance 120125.
Portland Airport information Tango 0005 Zulu, wind 100 at 1.
I'm already not liking, there's a little bit of lag here. I haven't had lag at all like this in like forever. I don't know if that's a Beyond ATC thing or what's going on. Is it the Citation 10? I'd be very broken right now, very heartbroken. You guys ready? Let's give him a call. Let's see what happens. Jacob Jamerson, what's up? Hi, welcome aboard. Hope you're happy. Hope you're loving this. Look at the views, man. Look at that beautiful sky in the late afternoon, almost evening hours here in Portland. I'm about to get my IFR clearance down to Vegas, so let's see how Beyond ATC handles this. Portland clearance, Upjet 902 with information Tango requesting IFR Vegas.
Upjet 902, Portland clearance. Thanks for Tango, cleared to Harry Reid Airport. Cascade 4 departure with the PUTS transition, then is filed. Climb via SID except maintain 10,000 feet. Departure frequency 118.1. Squawk 6500.
Okay, we're gonna put that in there. All right, cleared to Harry Reid Airport as filed. Cascade 4 departure with the PUTS transition. Climb via the SID except maintaining 10,000. Departure on 118.1. Squawking 6500 for Upjet 902.
Upjet 902, read back correct. Contact ground 121.9er when ready for starter taxi.
Well, contact ground on 121.9er for engine start and taxi for Upjet 902. 1219er. Whatever, shut up. He was going to correct me even though I said exactly what he asked me to say. Okay, let's go ahead and get our anti-collision light to ground recognition. Let's go ahead and do our final pre-flight walk around. We're going to... Actually, let me verify parking brake is set. It is. It's right here, guys. That handle pulled up. Let's go ahead and remove our chocks. We should see the beacon turned on. Look, there it is on top of the empennage. It is on, indicating we're about to fire up. And there's the undercarriage beacon. So let's close the passenger cargo. And again, I apologize for the choppiness. This is not something I've experienced forever. So I don't know, again, if it's the Citation or Beyond ATC. Jacob, I am happy. Hell yeah, brother. Glad to hear that, man. We're going to fire up here and get this show started. Disclaimer, guys, I haven't flown the Citation 10 in forever. So again, I might be rusty, but I think I remember how to do this. So let's go check it out. Here we go. Let me open the cabin door here. All right, let's close her up. Think we're good. Okay, so we've got our ground recognition light on, nav light on. Let's go ahead and throw that ISO valve to open. Let me verify we've got good start pressure here. Remember, we're running off the APU, bleed air, and the generator. That is what we need. Let's go ahead and close our window vents.
SkyWest 3366, ramp Bravo 10, request pushback.
Mike, we're going to go to headset.
SkyWest 3366, Portland ground, pushback approved. Face
Oi.
northwest.
British away.
Pushback and engine start approved, face northwest.
Okay,
SkyWest
let's see.
3366.
Start pressure, bleed air valve open. There we go. We're going to start with engine number 2. Let's make sure fuel boost pumps are in norm, ignition norm, FADEX norm. Generators, they are in the up and engage position. We'll trip them and reset them. Let's go ahead and start with engine number 2. Here we go. Watching N2. 10%. Get some fuel. There we go. Watch ITT. And 1% climbing. That's a good engine number 2. You can hear that PTO. Let's go reset. Generator's online, and we'll repeat the same process. Engine 1. Here we go. %. I think it's 10%. I could be wrong.
SkyWest 3366, taxi for departure.
SkyWest 3366, runway 10 right taxi via Tango, Bravo, cross runway 03, continue taxi via Bravo.
She sounds like she's having a rough day.
10 right taxi via Tango, Bravo, cross runway 03, continue taxi via Bravo, SkyWest.
Prime emoji, you're good, brother. Yeah, you'll join us once again here very soon, brother. I promise. Truck and Dad, lol, I've had to use the virtual co-pilot many times to respond to endless radio loops that make it happy. Yeah, man, I get you. I don't know if BeyondATC has actually done a virtual co-pilot feature. I doubt it, as far as I know, but maybe they will one day. Okay, we've got generators online. Again, I'm not going to trip. It looks like we're good. We're seeing the no takeoff indicator there. We got to set our pitch trim. We got to set flaps, and we got to get our pitot-static heat on. Okay, before I do this, let's go to performance init. Next. Confirm. Takeoff. What were the winds? I should have written. I thought I wrote those down.
Horizon Air 2004 at ramp
Hold
Bravo
up.
11. Request pushback and engine start.
110 at 13. Haha.
Horizon Air 2004, Portland ground. Pushback approved. Face northwest.
This lady's making me
Pushback
laugh.
approved. Face northwest. Horizon
Runway
Air
condition is
2004.
dry. Density altitude minus 256 feet. Anti-ice off. Flaps 15. I'm going to go with flaps 5. We don't need flaps 15. Confirm init. Takeoff weight 29,600 pounds. We're going to need 2,700 feet. Almost 2,800 feet. And, oh yeah, Truck and Dad, you're right. Yeah, I forgot about the auto-tune and auto-respond. Good call. I might do that once we're cruising. As you can see, we've got a good headwind component, 12 knots. That's what we like to see. There's our V-speeds. 126, rotate 128, V2 140. Climb, we've already set it. Managed. Okay, I'm going to go back to takeoff. Confirm. I'm going to leave it there. God, this lag is really annoying. Okay, let's turn off the bleed air. Turn off the generator. Let's turn off the APU. Let it cool off. Let's go flaps 5. There we go. Now we gotta set our stat trim. There we go.
Horizon Air 2004, runway 10 right taxi via Tango. Bravo, cross runway 03, continue taxi via Bravo. Runway 10 right taxi
Parking
via
brake is
Tango.
off.
Bravo, cross runway 03, continue taxi via Bravo. Horizon Air 2004.
Let's go taxi airport.
Horizon Air 2023 at gate Charlie 6, request pushback.
We're expecting 10 left, so
Horizon Air
probably
2023,
Alpha.
Portland ground.
Go Whiskey
Pushback
Alpha.
and engine start approved. Face northwest.
Oh god.
Pushback
All right.
approved. Face northwest. Horizon Air 2023.
Flocala, yeah, the Citation 10 is probably my all-time favorite jet in the business side. So yeah, I love flying this thing. Love it. I was obsessed with it last year. All right, guys, so let's get this going. Truck and Dad, it does set it to auto-tune and auto-respond. That's their version of Copilot. I'll respond to every call, or it'll respond to every call. Jacob asking, how long is this flight? Should be about an hour and change. Be quick.
Contact Portland Tower 23775.
Yeah, that controller, she
Over
is
to Tower
sassy.
23775, SkyWest 3366. See you.
Ground Upjet 902 at Atlantic requesting taxi for departure.
Upjet 902, runway 10 left taxi via Alpha Tree, Alpha Whiskey, Kilo, Alpha Kilo.
What? All right, taxiing the 10 left via Alpha 3, Alpha Whiskey, Kilo, Alpha Kilo for Upjet 902. That makes no sense. Alpha 3,
Negative.
Alpha.
Taxi via Alpha Tree. Alpha. Whiskey. Kilo. Alpha. Kilo.
Alpha 3, Alpha, Whiskey, Kilo, Alpha, Kilo, Upjet 902. Sassy little girl there, huh?
Horizon Air 2023. Taxi for departure.
Taxi light is on.
Horizon Air 2023. Runway 10 right taxi via Tango. Mike, Echo, Bravo. Cross runway 03. Continue taxi via Bravo. Runway 10. Right taxi via
I'm not
Tango,
feeling this,
Mike,
guys.
Echo,
I'm
Bravo,
already
cross
missing
runway
same tensions.
03.
Oh,
Continue
man.
taxi via Bravo. Horizon Air 2023.
Here's Alpha 3. We're going to make a left and head down Alpha. I'm going to ignore that whole Whiskey, Kilo, Whiskey, whatever. I'm just going to go down Alpha. Oh, no. She is correct. I can see why, because Alpha ends there. I got to make a left. Yep. Okay. Maybe I'm the dumb one here. Here we go. Moving on. Muscle Man, I don't know why she's yelling, man. She's just probably had a lot of Zins or a lot of caffeine before getting to work. So I guess a happy controller, right, is a better thing than an angry controller, but it depends on who you're asking. Yeah, someone take away her Red Bull or her Zins. I'm sure she's got some 6 milligrams up there, man. She's feeling it. All right, let's do a quick flight controls check here. Good elevator. Good aileron. Rudder, we know it's moving because we're steering. We can see them moving. Speed brakes. Got the indicator. I can see them right down there on the lower right corner of the MFD. Speed brakes retracted. Let's get on the speed here. Let's hurry this up.
Horizon Air 2004. Contact Portland Tower 12. 3.775. Have a good one. Over to Tower 1.
Look how beautiful this plane is, man.
775. Horizon Air 2004. Have a good afternoon.
Somebody contact Bob's Barricades. They left a barricade literally right in the middle of the taxiway. Maybe that's why she had me doing that funky taxi. Hey Jacob, I'm only doing one flight, brother. I've already done a live stream earlier today, and so I've got a little bit of time here tonight. I'm in Central Florida. It's about to be 8:34 p.m., so I've got a little time here before I gotta get off the air. So I'm gonna fly down to Vegas on the Citation 10. The primary purpose of this stream is not only to get back on the Citation 10, but we're checking out Beyond ATC. It's been quite a long time since I've flown with Beyond ATC. I predominantly use, almost exclusively now, Say Intentions. I find it to be just a more authentic experience, but we're gonna see how Beyond ATC handles everything. Muscle Man, the Citation X Plus, I don't know if they're making it. Are they? I know, what is that company? Skyward? They did the Diamond DA50, and now they're doing this Sovereign, the Citation 680, which, if you guys are not familiar, the Sovereign and the Citation 10 are like very close brothers, right? The Citation 10 has the reputation for climbing, going a little bit faster. However, the Sovereign, the 680, it's also pretty fast. It's got very large wings. They're not angled back like the X, but they still look good.
3.775. Take care.
Oh, they are.
Tower 12,
Wow, I didn't know that, man. That's awesome.
Horizon Air 2023.
Okay, so we're gonna follow Alpha here, then we're gonna turn left on Echo, then go to Kilo 1 and hold short of 10 left. A DA62 there landing. And we are using the traffic injection as well from Beyond ATC, guys, if you're wondering. And look, peak of the devil. That's a Sovereign right there. Like, that's a Sovereign Plus.
SkyWest 3291. Portland ground. Pushback approved. Face northwest.
Pushback approved. Face northwest. SkyWest 3291.
Man, I'm not liking this lag.
Upjet 902. Contact Portland Tower 12, 3.775.
Tower 123775 for Upjet 902. So long. Bye-bye. Oh, it already tuned it for me. Okay. But yeah, right there, guys. You see that? That's a Citation 680.
Kilo Foxtrot. Monitor ground 121.9er.
Ground 121.9er, November 33, Kilo Foxtrot, see you.
But that is the Sovereign Plus. You can tell by the winglets on the end there, or like the right wingtips, I should say. So that is the brother here to the Citation X. Both of these evolved to what is now known as the Citation
Empire
Latitude
Air
and the bigger
go
longitude.
Around. Fly runway heading, maintain 5,000.
Going round. Fly runway heading, maintain 5,000, Empire Air 7686.
Empire Air 7686, contact Portland 12 for 0.35.
Contact Portland 12 for 0.35, Empire Air 7686.
Tower, Upjet 902 holding short 10 left, ready for departure.
Horizon Air 2004, Portland Tower, wind 100 at 13, Arniv to river, runway 10 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 10 right, Arnav to river, cleared for takeoff.
On river,
Horizon
Kosig,
Air
Hades,
2004.
then Chisholm at or above 10,100. And then we're
Upjet
outbound on
902,
foots, or puts.
Portland Tower, wind 100 at 13, Arnav to river, runway 10 left, cleared for takeoff.
RNF to river, cleared for takeoff, runway 10 left for Upjet 902. All right, let's get the show on the road. Landing lights coming on. Strobe lights, let's go to ground, and anti-collision recognition lights on. Passenger seat belts, I forgot that.
Portland Tower, Empire Air 7662, visual runway 10 right.
Empire Air 7662, Portland Tower, wind 100 at 13.
Here we go, guys. We're going to line up here for a
right,
second.
cleared to
Let me
land.
just check something here real quick.
Runway 10 right, cleared to land. Empire Air 7662.
Let's get on the power here. We're going to look for MCT,
Horizon
maximum
Air,
continuous thrust.
2023, Portland Tower, wind 100 at 13, RNAV to river.
Takeoff
runway
thrust set.
10 right, cleared for
Applying
takeoff.
pressure, airspeed's alive.
Runway 10 right, Arnav to river, cleared for takeoff. Horizon Air 2023.
Ooh, she's fast. I forgot how fast this baby is.
Horizon Air
No,
2004,
dear.
Contact Portland departure.
Rotate.
Contact Portland departure, Horizon Air 2004.
Positive rate of climb. Gear up. What a rocket ship this thing is. All right, let's go. Flaps up. Let's zoom in here a little bit. We're gonna hand fly it a little bit. Bring back power. Go to climb. There we go.
Upjet 902, contact Portland departure. Have a good flight.
Switching to departure for Upjet 902. So long. Portland departure, Upjet 902 at 1,700, climbing 10,000. RNAV River.
Upjet 902, Portland departure. Good afternoon. Radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 180.
Climb and maintain flight level 180 for Upjet 902. Okay, going up to 18,000. Still hand flying, by the way. We're a little bit off course.
Portland, Horizon Air 2023.
Press VNAV, nav, flight level change,
1,100.
autopilot. Hands are off the controls. And let's enable
Horizon
auto
Air
throttle.
2023, Portland departure. Radar contact. Climb maintain 17,000.
There we go. Now she's doing everything.
17,000, Horizon Air 2023.
I'm gonna lower comms a little bit. It's a little bit loud. Let's see. Trucking Dad in real life Citation Max sold the longitude and went back to the single pilot CJ4, but states they have a new jet on order for next year. Makes me wonder. Oh, nice, man. Yeah, Citation Max is awesome. I love that channel, man. Jacob Jamerson saying, do you fly real airplanes? So I am a private pilot. but I fly single engine, you know, Cessnas, Pipers, a couple hours on the Sears, but I don't fly anything like this in real life. I wish I did, man. That'd be awesome. Kappa saying, yo, dude, sorry, I had to ball last night. Dude, it's all right, man. It's all good. No commitments here. Just having fun. Muscle man, oh dear. You saw that, right? You saw the deer. Aloha Jay, can't get enough of this thing lately. Me neither, man. Like I said, it's been a while, and I'm so glad to be back on the Citation X. This is one of those planes that I truly, truly was obsessed with because I always wanted to fly it in real life, man. So here we are. Trucking Dad saying she ain't the turboprops you've been flying. What a beast, right? Right, man, I love it. So nice having LNAV, VNAV, and just letting the aircraft do everything. Kappa saying, in the battle of the Bizjets, I think the Honda Jet still takes the top spot for me. I am definitely excited for the Sovereign. Yeah, the Honda Jet's cool. It is a very capable little jet. I just don't like it how it looks, you know. But FlightFX, how they've rendered the aircraft in the sim is phenomenally done, in my opinion. Okay, as we're climbing, we're about to cross 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and get N2 sync, turbine sync. Taxi light can come off. Landing lights can come off as we go past 10,000 here. We're monitoring everything. Did I start my... No, I didn't start my timer. There we go. Let's start the timer, even though I'm behind a little bit. And let's get our weather radar on. Let's go MFD weather. Oh, I got to set it up. Wait. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go.
Sky West 3291, 1,200 feet. Skywest 3291, Portland departure, radar contact.
There we go. Ooh, that's some bad weather coming up.
Climb, maintain 17,000 feet, Skywest 3291.
Look at this view, guys. Just beautiful. Heath saying, I wish Gulfstream would quit being snobs and license their planes for the sim. I know, man. If we had a good G550 or even a G450, man, I would be so happy. Hell, even the G280. G280 is the shorter, stubbier one that is a derivative of the G200, originally an IAI, Israeli aircraft. And those planes are so slick, man. But I don't know.
Radar contact, climb, maintain 1717,000.
Climb, maintain 1717,000, Horizon Air 2241.
Yeah, same here, man. I'm waiting for that Falcon 50, another classic. By the way, if you've never worked the ramp, the Falcon 50s are hated by ramp workers because the lav is located right in the middle of the fuselage underneath. So you have to crawl underneath. Stand by.
Contact Seattle Center 125.8. Have a good afternoon.
Going to Seattle Center 125.8 for Upjet 902. Hasta la vista, baby. Seattle Center Upjet 902 Cascade 4 departure at 162, climbing flight level 180.
Upjet 902, Seattle Center. Good afternoon. Climb and maintain flight level 370.
Climb and maintain flight level 370, Upjet 902. There we are.
606, Golf Sierra, contact Seattle Center 124.2.
About to go through transition altitude here, 18,000.
November 606, Golf Sierra.
Okay, going standard on the altimeter.
Seattle Center, Horizon Air 2004. Good
2992.
afternoon. Through 15,900 feet for flight level 180 direct wavy.
Okay, I'm going to set auto respond now. I'm going to lower the radios a little bit.
2004, Seattle Center, climb.
There we go. That's better. Since now we're out of the critical phases of flight here, we're just climbing to our cruise altitude. I don't want to have to interrupt every time I'm talking to you guys here. Trucking Dad, have you tried the Lear 35 yet? Another rocket with wings? Yeah, I actually have it for Flight Sim 2020. I haven't flown it here in Flight Sim 2024 at all. But that's another really classic dinosaur. Another fun fact about that plane is when you're fueling it, you got to watch the fuel imbalance, right? So when you're topping off the plane, you fuel it through those the external tanks, right? Like they're attached to the wingtips. And I've seen Lear 35s almost touching the ground, right? Because of somebody improperly fueling them. And you have to, when you're by yourself, you have to do a certain amount of gallons. I want to say no more than 50 gallons more on one side than the other. So initially you start pumping, you stop, bring the hose over to the other wing, do it, match it, and you go ping-ponging. So the best way to do it is with 2 people on either wing. It really helps out. But what I was saying about the Falcon 50, the lav is right in the middle of the fuselage, so you have to crawl, and they have what is known as a donut, right? So there's this plug on the dump valve for all the poop and the pee and the blue juice, and if you pull the dump handle before you've removed the donut, guess what happens when you go remove the donut? Yep, a lot of crap flying out, literally. So just one of those things, ramp workers, we had to live with. And I had a guy who was new tell me he knew what he was doing, and I'm like, all right, go do the lav. And then he calls me saying that the donut is stuck. I asked him, did you pull the dump valve? No, I didn't. So I undo the donut. Next thing you know, I'm covered in blue juice. There's poop all over the floor, all over the ramp. I literally crawled out, went and threw myself into the shower in the FBO, and I told him that he was going to clean up his mess. And I apologized to the flight crew on his behalf because the passengers were about to come on the aircraft. So they had just done an inbound leg. This guy dumps all the crap right there underneath the airplane, and he had to clean it up. Fun times. Look at this climb, man. We're showing what, Mach 6.3 right now, holding 260 indicated as we told the FMS to do. We're at flight level 260 almost for 37,000. Let's go to the back and get some views here. Oh, hey, Mary. You again? What up? Look at those views, man. Truck and Dad, talk about a crappy job. Yeah, it was pretty crappy. And again, that dreaded donut, if I've got any former ramp workers out there, you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. A Hawker 800 series as well. They're also known as the, what is it, British Aerospace 125s, the Hawker Sydney 125s. Those airplanes also had the donuts. The donuts would freeze, so sometimes you had to wait for the airplane to kind of warm up, right? Especially here in Florida, and then go deal with some crappy stuff. Look how quiet it is in here, too. That's why I do the turbine sync, the N2 sync. It just gives for a more comfortable ride for the passengers. You can either do a turbine or a fan sync, right? So fan sync would be an N1 sync, turbine would be an N2, and it just matters. What do you want? For me, N2, it really seems to lock in the throttles, get them nice and set, and it gives a smoother ride in the cabin. However, I don't think that's really modeled here in the FlightFX. I could be wrong, though. There we go. And I know I can move the window shades up and down. I just have to go to the front here on the galley. And I just have to press the buttons here. Here we go. So master shades close. There they go. But I like them open. I want to see the sunlight. Cabin overhead lights, we'll keep them off because it's still light. We got traffic up in the cons. A lot of weather underneath us. Let's go to the map. What the hell is that? Access blocked. Refer is required by tile usage policy of OpenStreetMaps volunteer run servers. It is blocked. What? I've never seen that before. I guess there's some weird stuff happening there. This is really odd. And I updated the aircraft to the latest version, so interesting. There's Nevada. There's Vegas. Let's see how quickly we can get there. I promise once we're cruising, we're going to pick up some speed. Aloha saying, the only thing that gets me is FlightFX never has a co-pilot avatar. Yeah, I get that, man. Especially having a empty right seat. Oh, forgot to turn off my APU master. There we go. And I was supposed to do that no greater than 31,000, but the APU itself was not running. It was just the master was on. I had already stopped it, so forgot about that. Oh, I forgot my pressurization. Whoops. Oh, well, we're going to pretend that's okay. We're going to ignore that. Although I could be automatic. I could be wrong. Let's see. Estimated time en route, 8 minutes till we get to puts. See the weather there, red, bad. We're above it though. Traffic 3,600 feet above us here. 35 now. See if we can spot him. I guess it's that guy. That makes sense. He's already cruising. Okay, about 2,000 feet to go and we'll level off and then we'll start picking up some speed. What's our wind like? 18 knots, 28 from the right to the left, so it's all right. Not great, not terrible. Engines look good though. Auto throttle is doing exactly what it should be doing. Fuel flow looking good. Oil temperature and pressure in the green. No complaints on my end, guys. If you see something, call it out. If you got questions, don't be afraid to ask me. Also, the circuit breakers don't work in the FlightFX Citation 10. That's okay with me. I don't go too crazy with like black square aircraft, right? You know how you can actually toggle avionics and cause failures. I don't do that often, guys, when I'm flying. If I flew these planes in real world, maybe I would practice just to see how it would react to some type of failure, but I don't really care about that too much. Kind of the right seat, right? The right seat never gets love. There we go. Look at those views, man. Wish I could do this for a living. I like how we're sandwiched here above the weather and we're below these higher clouds. They're probably up at 40,000 feet. There we go. We're leveling off. Now let's watch that speed climb, right? Like George Bush said one time, watch this drive. So here we go. Auto throttles are now advancing, right? We're picking up that speed. Oh, we're right near that VNE though. Never exceed speed. So let's see. I can switch that. Let's go to performance. Go to cruise. Let's do 295 indicated. Nope, that's not what I want. Whatever that is in Mach. There we go. That sets us, gives us a little buffer to stay out of that VNE. We don't want to overspeed the aircraft either. And if you wanted to adjust that manually, by the way, you can switch that knob here from FMS to man. That's manual. And then using that conical knob, you can adjust your speed and set it to whatever you want. Look at that. We're already doing Mach 0.87, about to do Mach 0.88. Trucking Dad saying we always ask passengers to take care of business before boarding. Boss didn't want to service the lab if he didn't have to. Honestly, that's the best thing you can do. Helps everybody out. And I guess the flight going a lot faster. Trucking Dad saying baby citation, so flight time was short, 525, I think. Yeah, the 525, that's the CJ series. Like the Alpha, the CJ1, the Bravo, CJ2. No. The Alpha is the CJ2, Bravo, CJ3. The Charlie is the CJ4, I believe. I could be wrong, though. And look at that, guys. Just like that, we're doing Mach 8.9. Like I said, I can bump it up a little bit. Yeah, I think we can do 300. Let's go back to 300. We'll be good. We got a little buffer there. MFD setup. Oh yeah, I forgot we have the vertical profile page, so we can use that in our descent. Very useful. There we go. Look at that ground speed. 525 across the ground with a slight tailwind. We're probably going to lose that tailwind a little bit there as we make that right turn to Rufus. It's okay, though. We're still doing pretty good. Let's turn off the seatbelt signs now. Everything else can stay the same. Again, ignore the pressurization. I forgot to adjust that. We're okay, though. Hey, Upright Flights, good evening. Are you using Toby? No, sir, I'm using Track IR. So if you look right here, I don't know if you can see it. You see this little clip on my hat? This is, it's got reflective tape on it on 3 spots. And so I've got the Track IR receiver right next to the webcam. And it's emitting and like an infrared light or 2 little infrared lights. And so wherever I move my head here, I'm going to enable Track IR. Wherever I move it, that's where it moves. And look, like right here, I can still see my screen. I can go up, go down, I can move. Been using Track IR for a long time, years now, years. So very, very useful. Truck and Dad, he sold it right before I was supposed to go get typed. Go figure. Oh, that sucks, man. Yeah, that sucks, man. I always wanted to, like I said, end up flying a little Citation jet or something. I like the airlines. I've got family members. I've got a cousin and his wife. They both fly for a legacy airline, one of the major airlines here in the United States. And they're flying. One of them is on the Airbus, and the other, she is now type rated on the 737 family. So it's awesome. They get to travel, obviously fly those amazing airliners, but there's something about executive aviation that I've always found to be more appealing, but it's not as easy as people think, right? Especially if you're on the smaller airframes like the Phenoms, the CJs. You can ask NetJet pilots, right? Those guys are working very long days, usually, I don't know, 8-10 hours easily, probably more. And I don't want to speak for them. I don't know what's the legal requirements there. But they're on the clock early. They don't get home till late. And by home, I mean wherever the destination is for that trip. So it's challenging, man. It's not for everybody. And right now, I've got my family, right? I've got my wife, my son. I don't think I would enjoy being away that often, that long. But the pay is great. You get these views, so there's that. So I can't complain. For now, I just keep flying as a hobby. I am working on getting my instrument rating here very soon. Private pilot, so I just keep it as a hobby. And a lot of people that fly for a living, when they do this as a job, they'll tell you just fly whenever you want to, not when you're told to, if that makes sense. Yeah, exactly, Truck and Dad. There's a lot of on calls. There's a lot of people that'll bring a jet in. Like when I was at Orlando at KMCO, we had crews on standby for 3-4 hours, just hanging out, drinking coffee, just waiting. Now, I'm sure that's not a bad day, right? But it can also get frustrating, especially on the first day of your schedule. Some of those guys do 7 on, 7 off. Other guys will do like 13 on, 12 off, whatever it is. I don't know. So it's got its plus and minuses. And one thing I want to show you guys here on the flight guidance computer, that is for the flight guidance, yeah, I think it's computer, FGC. That's the autopilot. You'll see how the bank light is illuminated. So what that is doing is it is going to limit the autopilot and our bank to no more than 15 degrees, I believe. And that's because, right, once we're up here, we're cruising in a very tight margin with our airspeed. You don't want to be banking too hard, right? You can actually enter a stall, believe it or not, because remember, that is your when the critical angle of attack is exceeded. So that's why you have that bank light illuminated, just limiting how much you turn. Once we descend down, when we get more air molecules right below the cruising levels, then that bank light should go away and we should be able to make turns with the autopilot to 30 degrees, which is your standard rates of turn there. Truck and Dad, I was rolled out middle of the night because someone wanted to go somewhere middle of the night. Yeah, that's right, man. Especially when you are owned by a private owner, not like a fractional ownership like NetJets or FlexJet. Yeah, you're literally on call, man. Actually, one of our clients at Orlando was, and this was years ago, so I don't even know if he flies there anymore, Bill Gates. Bill Gates used to fly in on Global Express or Global 6000s, but it wasn't just one. He'd fly in on one, and he'd have like 3 or 4 following him. And those 3 other ones were spares. The crews were getting paid to hang out just in case the boss wanted to go on one of them. And I think we catered all aircraft. I'm not even kidding, man. We would go and hand off the catering to every aircraft because we didn't know where he was going to fly that day or which aircraft he was going to get on. So it's an interesting lifestyle, man. But if it works for you, go for it. Let's go outside. Let's see what it looks like. Yep, Part 91 owner. Yep, that's right, brother. And again, it's a prestigious lifestyle, don't get me wrong, but it comes with its costs, right, and its sacrifices. Tail Dragger, what's up, sweet airplane? Yeah, man, Citation X. Yeah, you guys, if you check out our playlist, I've done a lot of videos with the Citation 10 full flights. So I love it. I've been missing it, and we're testing out Beyond ATC. Right now, I've got the auto tune and auto respond feature, so I'm not having to handle comms. But once we get into our descent and our approach phase, I'll be talking to Beyond ATC just to see how much better it is, if any, to what it was. Let's pan around. Love how the sound changes too as you go behind. Nice and smooth up here though. There we go, get a little bit of that sun in the picture. Go inside for a second. I want to check something out. Okay, Rufus. Yeah, so we got a crosswind there, 35 knots. Still having a little bit of a tailwind component. That's good. Okay. Since I started the clock about 21 minutes, I want to say we've been airborne now for about 24, 25 minutes. So not terrible, man. We're doing good on time. Upright Flights asks, do you use any builds and sound apps? No, I don't have any sound apps. I'm not even familiar with that. What's that for? Any builds? I do have products from any builds. I use their sceneries, their airplanes, but I don't have sound apps. Is that a specific program? Luis Stroll 22. Hi everybody. Buenas, Gonzo. Que pasa? What's up, brother? Welcome aboard, man. We're here cruising at 37,000 feet. FlightFX Citation 10. We're on our way to Vegas. Just took out of Portland about 25 minutes ago, thereabout. So we should be beginning our descent here in about 20 minutes, maybe 20, 30 minutes. We're enjoying the speeds of the Citation 10. So whenever you see your estimated time en route or your flight time showing about 1 hour and 30, it'll be faster on the Citation 10, guaranteed. Unless you have some monster headwinds. Let's see who's cruising up ahead of us here. Can we spot him? Look at that. That's an airliner. Looks probably like an A320. He is 700 feet below us, I think. Or 1,700 below us. So he's probably at flight level 350 right now. We're at 370. Yeah, that looks like an Airbus. I want to see if we're going to overtake him. Maybe not. He's about 2.5, 3 miles away from us. Doing a little drag racing here. Now, it also depends, right? The winds could be more favorable at 350 as opposed to us, but I don't think it was that different. I mean, I can check out our SimBrief dispatch and go look at the operational flight plan, look at our winds. Here we go. So we're inbound, what, to Rufus? Yeah, Rufus. So at Rufus at 370, winds are 246 at 51. And yeah, so they're a little better at 350. Not that much better, though. Actually, no. No, we're better. 51 knots, but they are technically crosswinds here, so open to interpretation. By the way, just got home from a trip. You pretty much sold me on the Caravan. I haven't fired a PC up for a few months, but I think tomorrow might change that. Do it. Do it. You remember that Shia LaBeouf video where he went crazy? He's like, just do it. Do it, man. You will not regret it. My guarantee, personal guarantee, you will not regret it. The second you fire up that engine, you're going to fall in love, man. And you're going to love flying that thing, managing it, monitoring your engine. It's going to be great. Okay, so we are catching up. We're closing in. We're overtaking that traffic to 737. I stand corrected. See, now he's a little bit closer. Now he's showing a blue on the TCAS. And it looks like he's climbing now. It's showing minus 1,100 feet. Hello, sir. Hopefully those passengers get to see what it's like to fly in style. I don't know why it's stuttering like that. Again, it could just be a Beyond ATC thing. So far, let's touch up on that, since that is one of the key points of this video, right? It is a random live stream, but I did want to go in and explore Beyond ATC. So back in early 2025, maybe even late 2024, Captain Flacco and I discovered that we did have an option to use AI ATC, which we've been talking about for years. Default ATC sucks in flight sim. Sorry, I kind of spat myself there. I don't know how I did that. Anyways, we discovered Beyond ATC. We're just mind blown, right? And this is over a year ago. We were using it wholeheartedly, and then somebody told us, hey man, check out Say Intentions. We found Say Intentions, and I was blown away. Say Intentions just feels more authentic. The radio comms, how you interact with controllers, whether that's tower, ground controllers, just feels right. And Beyond ATC, by no means, it's not a bad product. What I'm just noticing, again, when you queue up the mic, you got to wait for that little queue. You got to wait for them to receive the message. You hear that, like, ding, whatever that is. And that, to me, is not a deal breaker, but it kind of kills the immersion, right? With Say Intentions, all you hear is that squelch when you press the push to talk. It is instantaneous, and it just feels more fine-tuned. However, they both have these bugs when you're trying to ask for vectors and whatnot. They will give you some issues, but for the most part, I've been flying exclusively on Say Intentions, and I think moving forward, that'll be what I stick with. And I do pay for the premium characters on the Beyond ATC, right? So this isn't just your basic voice. This is the premium AI. Same thing with Say Intentions. I've got their partnership. We're partners with Say Intentions, and we couldn't be happier, man. So all in all, I'm not mad. I'm not disappointed with Beyond ATC. It's just once you get a taste of Say Intentions, especially if you do some real-world flying, I feel like there's an argument to be made there that Say Intentions just feels better, more authentic. But what do you guys think? Oh, upright. I see what you're saying. So you're using the AudioWorks from Boris for the 777 with the G90s. Yeah. So we've got the Boris sound packs for the PMDG. There's no going back. The Boris sound pack on the 7.3 is an absolute must. If you're going to spend the money on PMDG, spend the extra, what is it, $14? $10, $14, and get the Boris sound pack. It is night and day difference. Just insane. Trucking Dad, yeah, I think the traffic injector is causing the stutter. I'm very convinced about that. Just like I was experiencing lag when I was on the ground there at Portland. Where is he? Yeah, you see that? It's like just moving back and forth. I've never had that issue with say intention. But then again, I've had traffic on say intention do some funky stuff, man. Like they'll be cleared for takeoff, they'll line up and then do a U-turn and then disappear. So again, I try to be as unbiased as I can be because I am a customer of both and I pay for these memberships and these features. Yeah, exactly, Trucking Dad. That's my point too. I'm not a professional pilot, again, just a private pilot, but when I really want to practice VFR comms, I want to get into that mindset of just practicing proper terminology and how to interact with ATC. Say intentions will forever be my #1 choice. However, I think just yesterday, Beyond ATC released a video showcasing their VFR build now that is still in development, but you can do VFR flights using your call sign, right? Your tail number, and it seems to be pretty decent. I just haven't tried it yet. Maybe that'll be my next live stream. Okay, let's see where we're at. We're still showing 4 minutes to Rufus. So we got weather off to our 10 o'clock and then 1 o'clock, something directly in front of us, but we're above it, I think. Lomia. Let's see. Again, I love that vertical profile on the MFD. I think top of descent somewhere in here in this mess right here. You can see that downward line and all the altitude constraints as they apply. We'll keep that vertical profile on for now. 30 minutes on the clock, so we've been wheels up now for about 35 minutes. And you know what? Maybe it's a good time. Let's go and check out our star. That is your standard terminal arrival, by the way, guys. So we're going to go into Navigraph. We're going to go into Vegas. Star, here we go. And we are inbound on the Cocktail 4. Okay. And I think we're expecting around runway 26 left. Yep. So from Zilda on track 100 degrees across Dion at or above 12,000, then on track 100 across NV at or above 11,000, then on track blah, 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 blah. So this is just a written brief of what to expect, right? So here we go. This is our route. We're going to use Tequila as our transition, right? That is your entry. Consider it your doorway to enter this terminal arrival procedure. And so we're going to be inbound on a course 134 degrees to basic, then Fletcher. That blue flight level 240 with the blue line under it means that we have to cross Fletcher at or above 24,000. Right now we will be using vertical navigation, VNAV, on the flight guidance computer here to help us make sure we're respecting those restraints. So one quick check I like to do is I like to go to my CDU and verify that Fletcher has that altitude constraint as published on the chart. So let's go look at it. Go flight plan. I'm gonna press next. There's Fletcher, and wouldn't you know it, FL240A means flight level 240 or higher, above. So that checks out. The next one was aerial. We have to cross it at 280 knots at or above flight level 210. Now look what happens here in Cocktail. Speed is 250. We have to be at or above 16,000, but below or at flight level 190. So you kind of have this window, right? You've got a ceiling and a bottom there where you can cross that waypoint, and ATC is expecting you to abide by those altitude constraints unless, for whatever reason, they vector you otherwise and they tell you to descend to a lower altitude. And there we go. We've got all other altitude constraints as necessary. Gramps Aviation, what up? Hope you are having a good flight. Yes, sir. We're doing good, man. We're on our way to Vegas on the FlightFX Citation 10. Glad to see you back here, man. Trucking Dad, not sure, but another thing I think is Citation supports its CPDLC and transatlantic crossings, and I know BATC currently doesn't. Yes, 100% correct. So if you've got an airplane that supports CPDLC, you can get your clearances through that. Okay, so we'll continue to Toberon, Ariel, Cocktail, Zilda, Dion, Envy. There's the airfield. And runway 26 left is westbound. So we can expect to continue here towards Boulder City VOR or VORTAC. And we got to cross Bourbon at 210 knots at 8,000 as depicted by the solid lines on top and below. Okay, and then let's check out our approach. We said what, ILS 26 left Yankee. See if I can find it. Here we go. ILS Yankee or localizer for 26 left. There we go. So our localizer frequency 111.5 with a final approach course of 259 degrees. Okay, 111.5. Let me go ahead and slap that on right now on our nav radio. 111.5. There we go. Wait, 1.5? No, 5. There we go. We got our nav 1 radio set. We can see that Boulder City VOR. That's probably a good nav 8 to tune into as well, just to keep an eye out. And then our missed approach procedure will climb to 3,200 feet, then climbing right turn to 6,000, heading 080. So we're going to do a loop-de-loop, head eastbound on 080, and then inbound on the Boulder City VOR VORTAC, radial 286 to Boulder VOR, and hold, continue climb and hold to 6,000. Seems like a lot, but trust me, it's easier than it sounds. Brian Harris saying, keep up the great work. This channel got me out of 8-hour tube liners. The diversity with this channel is fantastic. Citation X is king. Takeoff roll, Lear 35 is tremendous. Thank you so much, brother. Yeah, tube liners are fun, man. I love it. You know, I've got a 737 overhead panel right here next to me that you guys saw me do last week. I did a first flight, first impression, and I haven't used it because I've been busy flying all these type of smaller aircraft. Tonight, I just felt like getting back on one of my favorite aircraft of all time, the Citation X, and I'm happy I did because she is a true pleasure to fly, man. Thank you for being here again. All right, so what is that? 116.7. 116.7. I'm gonna set that on my nav 2. That's my transponder, so we're good. And you'll see a little bit later on how we're going to use those frequencies. And I haven't forgotten, we do have to use our course, right? We have to set our course for our final approach. We'll set that up here in a little bit. Gramps asking, are you getting the L1011? Yeah, I am going to get it. I'll probably be showcasing that next week, though. Tomorrow I'm going to be busy all day. I'm going to go flying in the morning. Then I'm going to be hanging out with some family. That guy I was talking about earlier, my cousin that flies for the airlines, he's going to be in town. I'm going to pick him up. We're going to hang out. Then Thursday, I think I'm going to have some time on Thursday. Maybe I'll get on it on Thursday and see if I can figure out that dinosaur. But the L1011 is another beautiful, beautiful classic plane. I remember growing up and seeing them here in Orlando. ATA flew them. TWA had them. Who else? I want to say American had them too. Just a very distinct tri-jet, man. It looks so good. Let me check the window for Beyond ATC. Okay, he was just checking in with center. We got some clouds here. We're going to be probably going through them. Let's see what the weather's like in Vegas right now. And we can't expect this to change by the time we get down. Okay, so on the first day at 56 Zulu, so midnight 56, winds were out of the west 240 or southwest, 19 knots gusting 26. Oh, okay. Visibility is good, 10 statute miles, few clouds at 10,000, scattered 12,000, overcast at 20,000. Temperature 24, dew point 0.1, altimeter 2981. Remarks, automated observation type 2. Peak winds from the southwest at 32 knots. And it looks like, what is that? At 2357, I think. And then I forget what these remarks are, but reality, we don't even look at those sometimes. Gramps saying, I will pick it up tonight, but probably not fly it until the weekend, working on some videos for the Kodiak. Nice, man. I got to check out those videos. Hit me up through Discord, man. When you get the videos up, I want to check them out, man. We're equally here to support each other, right, on the community. That's what we're here to do, man, and we love seeing other people putting content out there. And who knows, we might be able to learn from you, man. Trucking Dad, Eastern Delta TWA had the 1011. That's right. That's right. I remember Eastern. Classic polished aluminum livery. Upright Flights Delta and Eastern were the largest L1011 operator. I retired on the L1011. Are you serious? Holy crap. Damn, so I got to be on my A game here because I'm in the presence of a legend. Well, Upright Flights, I will try to make you proud with this arrival into Vegas. I know this is a very different aircraft, but I know you and Trucking Dad, you guys are, sounds like you guys are professionals, man, or at least former professionals. So let's see, man. I'm going to try to do my best on this arrival. How was that, by the way? How was it flying the L1011? I can only assume that was a majestic beast. Flacco, what up? What's going on, brother? Welcome aboard, man. Good to have you once again. I texted him a few minutes ago, and I'm like, hey, man, I'm live again. Just letting you know, I'm spamming content through the channel. And to be honest, guys, yeah, in the coming weeks, I'm going to be a little bit busy. Probably towards April, I'm going to be a little bit busier, so I might have to reduce my live streaming ops tempo a little bit, but I'll try to sneak one in whenever I can. And don't forget, we are still working on full-length videos, right? So we've got a review coming up for the Coronado King Air 200 that just released last week. Me and Flacco are going to tackle that on together. We're going to do an initial impressions video, put it out there. I also have to do an initial impressions full-length review on the 737 overhead panel right next to me here from Rosefire that they sent to us. So stay tuned. Donald Cost 4644 asking, why are you using the ILS Yankee? The initial fix, or wait, intermediate fix is southeast of the airport, and you're coming in from the northwest. Actually, good catch. Good catch. Let's review that real quick. See, this is why I love talking to people online. But you're asking that, but remember, we're on the cocktail for arrival. The cocktail for arrival is going to have us swing to the southwest of the airfield, and then we're going to make an eastern heading here from Bourbon. You can see right there. So it's actually working in our favor right now with our cocktail for arrival. If you think otherwise, feel free to correct me, brother. I'm all open to it. And look, let me just show you that arrival real quick. Let me go back to charts, star, cocktail 4. So here we go. We're going to go from cocktail to Zilda, Dion, Envy, and then there's Bourbon, right? And then from there, we're going to go into our ILS Yankee. So again, if you think I could go with the Zulu instead, more than happy, brother. I'll make that change. And we're also at the mercy of whatever ATC instruct us to do. They'll let us know, hey, expect the ILS, Zulu, or the Yankee. Oh, we'll see, brother. Good catch, though. Again, I like being in the presence of real pros and people that actually are instrument rated to call me when I'm making mistakes. So I am not going to shy away from saying I'm wrong. And if I have to make a change on the fly, I will gladly do it, brother. Gramps saying the 200 is dope. Yeah, the King Air 200 is nice. We haven't dedicated too much time since we flew it last Thursday. So I'll have to check it out a little bit more, test out the autopilot, make sure everything works. Flacco's asking, how's Beyond ATC behaving? So far, so good, man. On the ground, when we were taxiing, ground controller, she seemed to be fired up. She probably did a couple of zins, had a Red Bull, but she was yelling. It was pretty funny. I just kept laughing every time she got on the radio, and she had an English accent. It was hilarious. But so far, so good. I just have it on auto-tune, auto-respond, so Just hanging back, letting my co-pilot do all the work. That's lost comms procedure, by the way. Getting a little bumpy here? Is that what's happening? Yeah, winds have picked up a little bit. Now we're showing 64, 65 knots out of the west-southwest there a little bit. Truck and Dad saying, I haven't been called a professional in a long time, just a fellow simmer these days. Brother, hats off to you guys that have done this for real, you know. I'm just a noob here. Just do it for flight simming. I fly my little Cessnas, Pipers, for fun in real world, but nowhere near this level, man. Yeah, Flacco's saying it, man. We give credit where credit is due, trucking. And like I said, I like being called out when I'm wrong, man. I don't shy away from that, man. It actually helps me, right? Because right now I'm about to go through my instrument training, and I have a very basic understanding of how to, you know, fly in IFR rules or IFR flight plans. But I'm sure when I actually go up there in the air and do it on a Cessna, I'm not going to have the luxuries of having, you know, VNAV, LNAV. Now, the one I'm going to be training in does have a G1000. This will be the first time I train in a G1000. I'm a six-pack kind of guy, right? That's what I learned to fly on, and I will always love flying with analog or steam gauges. But I know the G1000 is going to make this experience so much better. So, with that being said, what I'm trying to say is I'm going to carry over lessons learned from the simulator and try to obviously approach the real-life training the correct way, right? And I'm sure as I progress through my instrument training, I'm going to come back and rectify my own mistakes and tell you guys, hey, this whole time I've been doing this wrong. Don't do this if you really want to try to simulate realism. All right, let's see what we're looking like here. 45 minutes on the clock. 33 from Lomia. Still doing good. Ground speed at 500 knots. Not bad. Got traffic all around us, by the way. There we go. Somebody 1,500 below, 6,900, 1,700 below. Cool. Truck and Dad, thank you, sir. I appreciate that, man. I'm sure I'll have questions here in the coming weeks. All right. Let's check something out. Let's go to the progress page here. So obviously we know we're 27.3 from Lomia. ETE, estimated time en route. Crossing with 4.1 thousand. We're showing 2.8 thousand pounds at Vegas. I'm okay with that. More than enough for an alternate, but we're not going to do an alternate. We've got VFR conditions, and even if we do missed, we got plenty of gas to stay around. Okay, top of descent showing 183 nautical miles away there, so we're still a bit of a ways out. Not terrible, though. Looks good there. No cross-track errors. There's the ground speed. There's our current wind right now, relative wind 71 from the right to left with a small little headwind, 8 knots. All right. What do I want to check out? Let's check our descent. 300. All right. BOD, by the way, this is bottom of descent. It is not modeled here on the CDU, unfortunately, for the Citation 10. So I've never really used it. Fuel management. Where are we at right now? This is our economy. So 0.2, 2.5, yeah, 0.200. What is that, 200 Dow? I work with, I'm in aerospace engineering now, or aerospace manufacturing. I'm not an engineer. I work on a rocket company, and so I'm used to seeing this and calling it 200 Dow, 257 Dow, 250 Dow. We do it in inches, not millimeters or nothing like that. But yeah, that's our economy right now. Here's our total fuel flow, what we've used. Cool. DX saying somebody's got the need for speed. Damn right, brother. That's why we fly the Citation 10. Truck and Dad, I learned when we still had to do NDB approaches, but instructed on G1000. I will say for a noob, you have a hell of a head start. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah. Yeah, flight sim really helps, man. I always argue that. I know Some people have something else to say about it. They're like, nah, I don't want anybody coming to my flight school with flight simulator knowledge. But I argue that it actually helps, right? When I did my private pilot 10 years ago, April 6th will be 10 years. Again, I always say this. I knew how to read an attitude indicator, what an altimeter was, my airspeed indicator. I knew what the trim wheel was and what it was used for. I knew about my mixture and my throttle. And so I was able to get my check ride done pretty much after 36, 38 hours. Now that's including your cross country requirements, your nighttime simulated instrument and all that, right? I got my written out the way. My check ride day was a hell of a day. That's another story that I've shared before, but pretty much it turned into an 8-hour day, but I passed and it was great. But again, I credit a lot of that to my time since I was a kid flying in flight simulator. It just taught me what an aileron was, what an elevator was, and how to control an aircraft in flight. Now landings initially, that was a huge moment of, oh crap, I don't know what I'm doing. But once I got it down, there was no biggie. Okay, making that turn to Lomia now, 140 to go to Toila. And I think after Toila we go to, no, that's Tequila. Yeah, that's Tequila, duh. That's our transition to the star there, to the arrival. Look at that lighting. Oh, man. I love those small details like that. Keith saying my buddy's brother spent $50,000 getting his PPL and instrument ratings, but he couldn't build up the hours to apply for a first officer position. Money gone. Damn, dude. And $50K? Was he on like a twin? Was he on a Cirrus? That's a lot of money, man, for just a private and an instrument rating. I think I spent maybe $10,500, maybe 11. No, 10,000. 10,000 on my private, and my instrument right now is probably gonna run me, I don't know, probably close to 12, 15 grand. So that's crazy, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Trucking Dad, my only advice is some CFIs don't like to do instrument training in actual conditions. Don't be afraid to go up, because that's when you really learn. The first time you're in the clouds and the leans hit them, you'll truly understand. I see what you're saying, brother. Yeah, and I actually just covered that yesterday with my CFI. This will be the first time I'm training with this particular schoolhouse. Yeah, the go-getter invest. PPL should cost $25,000 at most. Now, again, keep in mind that also matters. I remember I got a quote from Cirrus. They have flight training facilities here in Kissimmee and Orlando, and they wanted 72 grand for an instrument rating alone. I'm a private pilot, and they wanted 72 grand just to get instrument rated on their aircraft. I love Cirrus. I've flown those aircraft a couple times. Beautiful, they're excellent, but I'll never pay 72 grand. Hell, I'll never pay 30 grand for an instrument rating. That's insane. But going back to you, Trucking Dad. Yeah, so I actually talked to this instructor, very cool guy, very knowledgeable. We went through our ground portion of the flight review yesterday. I was supposed to get airborne, but the winds and the weather was changing rather quickly. But he did mention that he's like, hey, just an FYI, when you're in your instrument training, this is the weather conditions that we kind of want to see to really get you to learn and get used to being in the soup, right? And it helps, right, when you have a CFI or a safety pilot with you to really just get that training done right. He's saying he also has his commercial and multi-engine rating. Ah, okay. But yeah, man, 72 grand, that's quite steep turn there, but I can see it. I mean, commercial, what, you need 250 hours? So if you're doing cross countries on a multi, yeah, that'll add up. Let me scan Beyond ATC. Nothing for me. If they don't clear me for my descent, I'll let them know when we hit the top of the descent and see if they'll let us descend via the star. Again, look at my weather radar here. All right, not bad. There we go. Tequila, then basic, then our top of descent is that diamond along that that route. So we should be a-okay. Trucking Dad, I hate to admit this, but I am that guy as well. I have in commercial multi, had all my CFI, but I was a victim of 2008, and the hour requirements went up. Had to start trucking to make the bills instead. I get it, man. I know exactly what you're saying, brother. Gramps coming in saying, bro, I paid $31 an hour for IFR 172 in an Army flying club back in the 80s. Instructor was like $8 an hour. Wow. Yeah, so I was in the Air Force, and when I was in the Air Force, I was stationed out here at Patrick Air Force Base, or Patrick Space Force Base now, and they used to have a flying club back in the mid-2000s, I want to say. But by the time I was in, this was 2011 is when I went to basic at Lackland, and then I got to Patrick in 2012, late 2012. The flying club was no longer, so I missed out on that. But I heard stories of like that, man, of people flying for cheap and flying clubs. That is awesome. You know what? I'm feeling kind of froggy. I kind of want to speed up the sim rate a little bit here. Still about 90 miles from Tequila. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, God. Gramps Aviation saying, I used to fly at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base Aero Club as well. Warriors and 140s for 40 an hour, early 90s. Nice, man. Trucking saying, Gramps, when I stopped instructing, our G1000 172 wet was 185, and the school charged 75 per hour for me. Yeah, that sounds about right. So right now, the 172 I'm looking to rent is an SP, Lycoming 360. Direct injected, obviously. G1000, they're asking 199 wet, which I'm okay with, honestly. I used to pay 178 wet for a 172 SP, same field, different operator, with glass, or not glass, sorry, steam gauges, and they did upgrade him to the Garmin G5 PFD and the G5 HSI. So not, honestly, 178 an hour going to 199 now for a G1000. I'm okay with it. Yeah, seeing those figures, man, what a change, man. That's crazy. Okay, we're being handed off. Looks like we got a good tailwind component now. But look at that crosswind, 91 knots, 27 up the pipe, 538 across the ground. Gramps saying, last time I flew was around 82 an hour, late 1990s. Wow. For a 172. Yeah, no, that checks out. Okay. Chally, is that right? Chally 201, have you flown the P180 yet? Yes, I have. I actually have it for Flight Sim 2024. I got the free upgrade since I own it for Flight Sim 2020. I put a tutorial out last year on the P180, and I actually recorded the tutorial again, and I've been meaning to edit it and release it here, but I might want to revisit that one. But the P180 is phenomenal as well from FlightFX. I love that thing. The Italian catfish, as I like to call it. Not the prettiest, but she's fast. She is fast. Yeah, Gramps, that's also the thing, right? All the stuff I wanted to do, I can do it in the sim. That's exactly how I feel. And that's why Captain Flacco and I do this, right, on YouTube. We treat it like a business. Like I always say, yes, we're monetized. Yes, we try to make some money on the side through this, but it's also a way for us to share our passion for aviation with the community of simmers that I know is still small, right, relatively speaking, when we look at gaming. But now that Flight Simulator is available to console players, I feel like this community is growing and expanding, and I think more people are getting curious about what it is like to fly a plane, and that's why I fly as well, right? It's just, I want to live my dreams. I want to be able to get as close as I can to flying the real thing without having to spend the money. Well, I do spend money on pay-where add-ons, sceneries, the computer, yes, but it's a fixed cost that you pay once and you kind of move on, and you can fly the aircraft endlessly. Gramps, it's all good, brother. Do your thing, man. Trucking dad, that's a good point. Missing the view from flight level 410, right seat. Hell yeah. All right, so we're definitely closing in here, guys. Maybe I don't need to speed up the sim rate. 56 miles from Tequila now. I think we're too far still to pick up ATIS at Vegas, so we can try, though. 1324. Let's see. Can I use my COM 2? Oh, there it is. Okay. So it looks like we've got information Delta. I don't know if you guys could hear it in the background. It's kind of low there, but yeah. So it's showing about the same that we saw earlier here. We go to weather. Winds 24019, gusting 26. They are landing runways 26 left, so we're A-okay. Yeah, Donald, I'm about to check it out when I get down there. Gramps saying, I worked at a company who got some of the early Citation 10s, and when crews came back from training, the stories were great. Passing 757s while climbing and all. Yeah, and the 757 is a fast mover, especially with those Rolls-Royce RB211s. Hell, even the Pratt & Whitney 2000s, the 75 just hauls, man. My cousin actually flew them for Delta before he switched over to another airline now. Now he's on the Airbus. And I always joke with him, and I'm like, dude, you know you missed that thing, right? But yeah, that's awesome. John Beam saying clouds looking very nice. Yeah, man, they look great. I'm using Rex Atmos. I'm using live weather right now, so we'll see how it looks once we start descending below the weather here. Yeah, I didn't think COM 2 was going to work either, but you can actually just distinctly hear in the background. I couldn't raise the volume, but I was able to depict what it meant. Heath, we got time for some airliner night flying? Oh, I'm sorry, man. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. I'm going to have to touch down here at Vegas and call it a night for me, man. So I'm sorry, brother, but we'll plan it. I know you were asking about it yesterday to get on the PMDG, do some night flying. We can try that next time. All right, brother. Yes, Beyond ATC. Yes, trucking that. So actually, yeah, I don't remember having COM 2 at all with Beyond ATC or the Citation 10. I could be wrong, though, but they both seem to be working fine. 29 miles to Tequila. Let's go outside. Look at my temperature real quick outside. Minus 56. I'm gonna go windshield heat on low because that's part of our descent checklist anyways. Let's get that. Just get ahead of the curve here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the passenger seatbelt signs. Look at that wind, man. That wind component, 104 from the right.
Jetliner 02, Oakland Center, expect cocktail 4 with the Tequila transition, runway 26 left.
All right, we'll expect the cocktail 4 with tequila transition, or 26 left for Upjet 902. All right, I'm taking over comms again, and what they were telling us is pretty much expect the cocktail 4 arrival, tequila transition, and runway 26 left. So we've already configured our CDU and our flight plan for that. I'm gonna bring up comms now. Let's see. We haven't been told to descend yet, obviously, but we were told to expect the arrival. Fletcher has to be at or above 24,000. Aerial at or above 21,000. Cocktail below 1900, above 16,000. So I don't know. We'll see if they give us a call to descend. If not, I'll just configure my altitude myself here. DX saying, I like planning and flying a flight in MSFS than flying the actual flight in the real aircraft. Yeah, it's a great way to practice, man. Especially when you're trying to practice some traffic pattern work. Doesn't hurt, man. You'd be surprised how much it helps. That's so cool, man. Gramps, that's got to be so amazing. Okay, so we do have VNAV armed. I'm gonna give a few more moments here for ATC to see what they do if they say anything. Getting a little interesting here now, losing that horizon. All right, we're in the clouds. PDX Tundra, boy, these atmospherics have looked awesome throughout this flight, especially with those other aircraft visible. Yeah, man, it was definitely fun, right? Just racing other aircraft, seeing the cons up there in the flight levels, and somehow we're still faster. But somehow, I mean, obviously because we're in the Citation 10, so no doubt about that, brother. All right, I'm going to call center here, let them know that we'd like to begin our descent when we cross over top of the descent.
Alaska, 688.
Of course.
Oakland Center. Expect cocktail 4 with the tequila transition.
Copy that, truck and dead. I'll be ready, brother.
Expect cocktail 4 with the tequila transition. Runway 26 left, Alaska 688.
Oakland Center, Upjet 902, approaching our top of descent. Can we begin the descent via the star?
Aircraft calling for descent instruction. Say call sign.
Upjet 902.
Upjet 902. Descend via cocktail 4 arrival. Harry Reid Airport landing runway 26 left. Altimeter 2981.
All right, descend via the cocktail 4 arrival. Expecting 26 left. Altimeter 2981 for Upjet 902. All right, there's the magenta triangle dropping, indicating here.
Descend via cocktail 4 arrival.
That's what I hate about BeyondATC. Descend via the cocktail 4 arrival for Upjet 902. I say things verbatim, and they still correct me. There we go. VNAV path.
902. Contact Los Angeles Center 124.625. Have a good evening.
Switching 124625, Upjet 902. So long. Los Angeles Center, Upjet 902, descending from flight level 370, cocktail 4 arrival.
Upjet 902, Los Angeles Center, copy.
All right. Descent has begun. Okay, inbound Fletcher, remember at or above flight level 240, we're good there. Still descending out of 3.5. Looking good. Yeah, it seems like they actually read out the star now, so that's good, right? I guess they are making that improvement.
Contact Los Angeles Center 13, 4.65.
Center on 13, 4.65. Gemini 1814.
And let's close the divider here. I should have had that closed anyways on takeoff. Whoa, what happened to my emergency exit lights? I had them armed and now they were off. Good thing I caught that there. Okay, we're descending. Everything looks good. And you know what? Let me see if I can find... while we continue descending over here. I'm checking out the manual real quick on the FlightFX.
Good evening, Los Angeles Center.
Just want to double check some things here.
Descending via cocktail 4, flight level tree 50. Alaska 688, Los Angeles Center.
Here we go. So descent checklist, left and right hand windshield anti-ice switch both on, side window vents closed. Let's check that out real quick. Yep, window vents are closed. Closed on the FO side. Pressurization check set, landing elevation. Aha. I knew I forgot that. I think the landing field elevation is like, what, 1,000 feet above sea level there. Let's go to charts. Let's go to taxi. No, ref. I need the ref. Nope, not an overview. What am I looking at? There we go. Airport. There's 26 left. 2048. 2,000 feet. Wow, I was way off. Thinking of Atlanta. And again, you'll have to ignore my pressurization. I completely forgot it on the way up, so this is going to probably trigger a cabin pressure warning here. All right, let's go back to the star. Cocktail 4. All right, pressurization set, anti-ice as required, APU as desired, exterior lights at transition altitude, flight level 180 as required, altimeter will be set below flight level 180, 2981. And we do have information delta. When we contact approach, let them know that we've got the latest weather. And if it's changed, they'll correct us and let us know that echo, or yeah, echo is now current. Looking good, 28.8. We'll set 8,000. A little ominous in here. I can just see through the clouds though, but looking at my leading edges, make sure I don't have any ice. Looks like we're banking now. All right, just crossed T-Ran or Tobran, whatever that's called. Inbound aerial, max 280 knots at or above flight level 210. And we should have a decel point here momentarily where the throttles retard a little bit, slow us down, so we cross aerial at 280. Let's go set up our landing config here. So as far as we know, wind's 240 at 19. Outside air temperature showing 24 degrees Celsius. There we go. Press next. Runway slope up 0.7% with 148 feet. Runway condition is dry. Density altitude 3617. NTIS will be off for this landing. Flaps will be 35. We'll go to landing data. There's our landing weight, 26.4 thousand pounds. That's not good. Wind's showing a tailwind of 1.5. That doesn't sound right. This looks like we're requiring 3,100 feet out of 10,525 available. VAP speed of 123 with a VREV speed of 118. By the way, there's the decel point. You see? About to cross aerial. We're slowing down to 280. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go return. Let's go to V speeds. Let's enable landing speeds and return. And we'll see them on the airspeed over here on the PFD. Well, we can always check them. And they are automatic, by the way. You see that? A little laggy there again. Wow, beautiful views though, man. Oh yeah, you know, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and set up my minimums. So let's go back to charts. Let's go to approach. ILS Yankee 26 left. 2269 on the barrel, or 200 above ground level with the radar altimeter. I'm gonna go with RA. 200. There we go. Minimum set. Doing good though on our VNAV path there. Descending. We're going to hit all those altitude constraints, God willing. And hopefully I can plant a greaser here with the Citation X for my first time in several months. John Beam. This Citation looks very detailed. I bet it's a big learning curve coming from the A2A Comanche to this. Avionics look incredible. Yeah, but if you are flying the Comanche and you monitor everything, you should be able to have that same mentality with the Citation 10, right? Remember, we've got a more sophisticated set of avionics here. These are the Honeywell, and I think it's Honeywell. Or yeah, it's a combination. Honeywell and the Rockwell Collins Proline Fusion, I believe. So yeah, there's a lot more to do, obviously, a lot more attention to detail, but again, flying the Comanche is a lot of work on its own. That aircraft is very much alive and it talks to you. The Citation 10, I don't think it goes that crazy into detail, but it's going to have you yeah, doing a lot of stuff, especially here as we are on our descent phase. Okay, I'm gonna have to move up a little bit because my rudder pedals, I think, are sliding a little bit. There we go. Okay, slowing down now because we're about to cross, what is it, Cocktail, and it has to be at 250. You see? Auto throttle and the autopilot managing everything for us.
Good evening, Los Angeles Center, American 3286. Climbing via Gidget Tree, 16,000 feet.
Corn Dog, it is the Collin and Honeywell. Roger that, sir. How are those systems modeled? They're pretty nice, man. Pretty well modeled. I mean, you have all kinds of options like you saw. I was checking out my landing config here on the CDU. I've already got that set up to get my V speeds. So for the most part, everything is functional. Circuit breakers don't work. Again, not something that I'm crazy about. I don't care about that too much. But everything you need to work is there for you to work. Oh, we got some moisture. Yeah, I'm going to go get some anti-ice on, guys. This is key right here for icing. Master caution reset. And once you see visible moisture and below freezing temperatures, that is your formula for icing. I'm going to play it safe. Okay, crossing transition altitude here, flight level 180. JD Sleeper, my favorite biz jet in the same here, man. Just a phenomenal plane. Can't the jet have hot starts? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know, man. Okay, going out of standard, let's go 2981 on the altimeter. Don't forget your backup or your standby altimeter here. 2981, cross check. Good.
Climbing via Radar 2, 16,000.
Spirit Wings 1551, Los Angeles Center, climb and maintain flight level 290.
Climb and maintain flight level 290. Spirit Wings 1551.
Our minimum safe altitude for the Vegas VOR inbound. Let's see, we're on a 123. Yeah, so from the northwest.
Contact Los Angeles Center 124.2.
That's a 10,200, if I'm reading that correctly. Damn, this is awesome. I see the terrain below us. Do I have terrain on this? I forget. No. No, I don't. But we're following all the published altitude constraints, so we're trusting we're going to be safe here. Corn Dog, did you fly the Learjet 35A? Would you say this is better or worse? I think this is far better, in my opinion. The Citation 10 is just a phenomenal, right? You get the speed, you get the more modern avionics suite that allows you to just, I don't know, fly more automated. But the Learjet 35 is a challenge on its own, and it's a phenomenal plane to fly as well. I just haven't flown it in so long now that I know I would mess up royally if I flew it. Okay, we're starting to see some terrain there.
Los Angeles Center, Sky West 4179. Climbing via Radar 2, 16,000 feet.
Skywest 4179, Los Angeles Center, climb maintain flight level 300.
Climb maintain flight level 300, Skywest 4179.
And I want to say that's Vegas out there. Yep.
Jet 902, contact Las Vegas approach 119.775.
119.775 or upjet 902. I've got the auto tune, so just to make it easier. Las Vegas approach, upjet 902 at 14,300, sending via the cocktail for arrival with information Delta.
Upjet 902, Las Vegas approach, altimeter 2981. Expect the visual approach runway 26 left.
Altimeter 2981, we'll expect the visual runway 26 left for upjet 902. All right, I don't think we have any moisture anymore. We're gonna go ahead and turn off anti-ice.
Southwest 1347, leave Prino heading 270. Expect radar vectors for visual approach, runway 26 left.
Leave Prino heading 270. Expect radar vectors for visual approach. Runway 26 left, Southwest 1347.
And I'm gonna have Sky Dolly. That is what I used to record, so you guys can see the landing, and we'll see the replay.
Vectors for the approach.
Turn right, heading 260, Southwest 1347.
Corn Dog saying I took the 35A around the world in 58 hours. It did very, very well. I'll have to check the Citation X. You will not regret it. I can guarantee you that much, man.
7,000 feet.
Everybody that's tried it out, I haven't seen anybody complain about it. And we are using Flight Tampa's latest scenery for Vegas, so we'll see all the nice city buildings there, the Vegas Strip. The airfield is phenomenally modeled. Flight Tampa, one of the legacy scenery developers for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So
Southwest 1347.
happy to have him here again.
Fly present heading. Intercept the 26 left localizer. Descend, maintain 5,000.
Fly present heading. Intercept the 26 left localizer.
Trucking that, there you go. That's exactly what I was thinking, right? More modern on the Citation 10. The Learjet has that, you know, GPS, but you can't beat the Citation 10. 2982, information echo is current. Let's go and update our altimeters. 2982. John Beam, the weather looks super cool. Is this Rex a big improvement? I may purchase it. I think it is. Especially the lighting. Everything looks more natural. It looks really good.
Leave Bourbon heading 090. Expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 26 left, Spirit Wing 1682.
Okay, so let's go look at our star once again because we're going to be expecting vectors. We're inbound to Bourbon. As you can see from Bourbon, we're going to leave on a track there of 083 degrees inbound to the Boulder City, unless otherwise vectored. So I'm going to go ahead and set my heading bug. Go around this way is faster, believe me.
Alaska 688, Las Vegas approach. Good evening. Altimeter 2982. Expect the visual approach runway 26 left.
083.
Altimeter 2982, expect the visual approach runway.
Landing lights on.
Left, Alaska 688.
There's Vegas, boys and girls.
1682. Descend and maintain 7,000 feet. Altimeter
And Nellis Air Force Base over there.
vectors for the approach.
Descend and maintain 7,000 feet, altimeter 2982, Spirit Wing 1682.
All right, looking good here. Still descending. Remember, we got to cross Bourbon at 8,000. I think 210 knots. So we'll keep VNAV and LNAV for now. And that final approach course was 259 degrees.
Southwest 1347. Airport is at your 12 o'clock, 10 miles. Report the field in sight.
Field in sight, Southwest 1347.
Southwest 1347. Cleared visual approach, runway 26 left.
Cleared visual.
Corn Dog Citation 10 was a dream aircraft when I was a kid. I'm glad to see it's finally in the sim done right. Absolutely, brother. Time Lapse has just subscribed. Thank you. Thank you for that, brother. Welcome aboard.
119.9er, see you.
Contact tower 119.9er, Southwest
Ooh.
1347. Take
Trucking that. If Blacksburg did the Saberliner, that'd be impressive. I know he would get it right.
Turn left, heading 325. Intercept the 26 left localizer. Descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
Turn left, heading 325, intercept the 26 left localizer, descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
All right, we're going to go heading mode.
1682.
We're still on track to cross Bourbon.
Wing 1682. Airport is
And let's switch to nav. Localizer 1, course 259 is set.
Field in sight, Spirit Wing 1682.
Localizer identifier IRLE verified.
runway 26 left.
Cleared visual approach 26 left, Spirit Wing 1682.
There we go. We're just continuing as published.
Upjet 900.
There it is.
Leave Bourbon heading 070. Expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 26 left.
All right, we're leaving Bourbon on heading 070, expecting vectors for the 26 left visual. Upjet 902.
Upjet 902. Turn left heading 065. Descend and maintain 6,000. Altimeter 2982. Vectors for the approach.
Left turn heading 065 down 6,000, altimeter 2982, vectors for the approach for Upjet 902. Let's go vertical speed. Descend now. And then we're going to go into manual speed here. Let's go down to 200 knots. In the terminal area here, I like to get nice and slow, but also keep my speed up as much as I can so that I'm not holding up traffic.
1682. Contact Las Vegas Tower 119.9er.
Contact tower 119.9er, Spirit Wing 1682.
Descending to 6,000.
Jet 902. Turn left heading 340. Intercept the 26 left localizer. Descend and maintain 5,100 feet.
Left 340, intercept the localizer 26 left, descend and maintain 5,100 for Upjet 902. Yeah, I got that right. We're going to arm nav mode localizer on the flight mode annunciator so it knows to look for that localizer frequency and to intercept on our final approach course. We're going to reduce speed 180 now. Got the field in sight. There's the localizer intercept. CDI is moving. We're going to overshoot, obviously. I was coming in at a perpendicular angle here. Still descending. We're going to reduce speed. 160.
902. Airport is at your 10 o'clock, 12 miles. Report the field in sight.
Upjet 902's got the field in sight. Let's go, slats.
Upjet 902. Cleared visual approach runway 26 left.
Clear for the visual, 26 left, Upjet 902. Okay.
Upjet 902. Descend and maintain 5,100 feet. Minimum approach speed.
5,100 minimum approach speed for Upjet 902. All right, so we're autopilot is off. We're gonna hand fly this puppy in.
902, contact Las Vegas Tower 119.9er. Take care.
Tower 119.9er for Upjet 902. Auto throttle coming off. My controls. Engine sync can come off. Let's go gear down. Track speed brakes.
1682, wind 210 at 15, gusts 30, runway 26 left, cleared to land.
Missed approach altitude 6,000.
6 left, clear to land. Spirit wing 1682.
Well, I'm getting distracted here. Vegas Tower, Upjet 902, visual 26 left.
Upjet 902, Las Vegas Tower, continue.
Continue, Upjet 902. Let's come left for lineup. Low here, so I gotta get on the power. And our approach speed target 122 knots, so let's go ahead and start configuring ourselves for that.
2108, tower number 3 for departure.
And we're setting flaps to full there. Got to crab a little bit there. There we go. I see 2 white, 2 red on the Pappy. Looking good. Can I set my autopilot here? Oh, I can. Yes. Honeycomb is working. That heading was 080 when we go missed, if we go missed. There we go. Alright, before landing checklist, gear down, 3 green, flaps full, engine sync is off.
Next available taxiway, Spirit wing 1682.
We are set. Again, to slow down, we're looking for 122 on that approach. Crabbing a little bit here. And just like that, we're stabilized on the approach. Look how easy it is to fly. Hands are off the control. I've trimmed it out. This is such a nice plane to fly, man.
Upjet 902, wind 210 at 15, gusts 30, runway 26 left, cleared to land.
We got the screaming lady again. Cleared to land 26 left for Upjet 902. Okay, I'm going to start recording. Here we go. Recording live. Okay, let's reduce power. Bring that nose down a little bit. We're still a little bit off center. Here, let's come in left a little bit. just slightly fast, slightly high. No pressure, no pressure. Yeah, she sounds Australian, not a Vegas person that you'd expect. All right, let's get back on that 2 white turret. There we go. Get on the power. Let's arrest that descent a little bit. There we go. Nothing serious. Yeah, I gotta watch out for Janet Air. That's right. Doing some secret scroll stuff. Here we go. Moment of truth, guys. Get on the power. Getting on the power. Getting on the power. I'm gonna fight those winds a lot more than I thought. Now we're high. Bring back the power. Here we go.
Las Vegas Tower, Alaska 688, visual runway 26 left.
Bringing the power. We're going to let that airspeed bleed off. Right rudder, left wing down. We're going to hold her there. We're going to hold her. We're floating.
Alaska 688.
There we go. Right rudder, left wing down. We're left of center. There we go. Speed brake out. Got to wait for the nose wheel to touch down. And 2 in reverse.
Up
60 knots.
Liner 02.
Idle thrust.
Next available taxiway.
Exit next available taxiway for Upjet 902. We're going to join the Congo line here. Not bad, guys. All right, let's go check out that replay because this is going to be interesting while we wait for this traffic here. We're going to stop that recording. Let's press play. Here we go.
Jet 902. Contact ground 121.1.
Nice little approach here. She's still yelling at me. We'll contact ground on 121.9 for Upjet 902.
Ground on 121.1.
121.1, Upjet 902. All right, so check it out. I'm going to pause right here. I'm going to get my camera. I'm going to lock it in place to where I want. Wait, showcase. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. That's loud. Sorry about that, guys. That is obnoxious. All right, here we go. We're going to lock the camera here, so we can watch from the ground. We can really judge this landing. And we've got traffic on final. This is going to be interesting. All right, here we go. Replay is live. 7-3 right behind us. Let's see how she looks when we touch down. That's why it's important, boys and girls, to stick to your speeds, your VREF, because we float it. Look at that. Okay, okay, I'll take it. See if the reverse thrust actually shows. Yep, beautiful. Okay, and it went back to idle. All right, whatever, I'll take it. Taking over the airplane again. There we go, let's taxi in. Yeah, not bad, right? All right, let's go. Are we on ground already? Let's go nav, tune. Vegas ground, upjet 902, clear of 26 left at Alpha, requesting taxi to the GA ramp. After landing, let's bring the flaps up. Landing lights can go off. Strobe lights, we can go to ground recognition.
Upjet 902, you need to make a taxi request and check the frequency for instructions.
Yeah, I'm on 121.1. Yeah, we're talking to you, ground. Vegas ground, upjet 902 requesting taxi to the GA ramp. Do your job. All right, we're gonna do what the hell. We're gonna do whatever we want here.
Alaska 688, gate echo 11 taxi via Alpha 6. Hold short runway 26 right.
Ah, Beyond ATC, I hate you sometimes. Ignore this, folks.
Hold short runway 26 right, Alaska 688.
I'm gonna ignore them. Look at this dirt.
Upjet 902, welcome to Harry Reid. Say parking or advise if need assignment.
Need assignment for upjet 902. Look at this dirt. They're just chilling here.
902, say again ramp number.
Disregard for your upjet 902. This sucks.
Upjet 902, say again ramp number.
We're gonna cross the runway. I don't care. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Crossing 26 right. Okay, we're gonna go to ground recognition. Let me go landing lights off. We're gonna hold here for a second. Let me pull up the taxi diagram. I don't even know where the hell I'm going.
Upjet 902, say again ramp number.
We don't have a parking. We'd like a parking assigned for general aviation ramp, please.
Upjet 902, say again ramp number.
I give up. I give up. Yeah, just hit the X button. Shadow, honestly, if you're thinking about ATC like this with traffic injection, just go with say intentions. Trust me, you're gonna have a better time. Beyond ATC, these are one of the issues I remember having with them. You speak clearly to them, you tell them what you need, and they don't recognize it. Like, I'm gonna show you again. Las Vegas ground, upjet 902 requesting taxi to the general aviation ramp.
Upjet 902, say again ramp number.
We don't have a goddamn ramp number. I need a parking for general aviation. Take me to the FBO for upjet 902. Can you do your job?
Upjet 902, say again ramp number.
There you go. I hope you got your answer there, bud. Beyond ATC, yikes. Everything was smooth. I mean, the arrival phase, no complaints there. But once on the ground, like, come on. Now, let me be clear here. Maybe the replay had something to do with it, but with say intentions, I've never had this issue, guys. I promise you that. Yeah, say again ramp number. Upjet 902, we like taxi to ramp 69. Giggity.
Upjet 902, ramp 69er taxi via Bravo Echo Whiskey. Hold short runway 19er right.
Bravo Echo Whiskey, hold short 19er right for Gamajet 902. Whoops, not Gamajet. That's the old call sign.
Hold short runway 19er right.
Hold short 19er right for Upjet 902. Okay, Bravo 19er right is over here. Wait, so hold short of 19er right, but we can cross. This makes no sense, man.
Southwest 1937, Las Vegas ground, pushback approved. Face southeast.
Pushback approved. Face southeast.
Yeah, no, and I get that, truck and that. Trust me, I know. But with say intentions, you don't have to know a number. You just tell them taxi to the FBO, and they're like, all right, taxi to Signature, taxi to Atlantic, Millionaire, whatever. It's just more intuitive, man, more realistic. Again,
United 1369, Las Vegas ground, pushback and engine start approved, face west.
Pushback approved. Face west. United 1369.
and ground, Upjet 902. Are we clear to cross 19er left at Bravo? They told us to hold short of 19 right, but nothing about 19 right or left.
Jet 902, you are not cleared to cross runway 19er left at Bravo. Please hold short.
All right, well, hold short of 19er left. It would have been nice for you to give me that in the initial taxi instruction for Upjet 902. You know what? I'm done playing games. I'm going to taxi. I got to shut off.
Upjet 902, cross runway 19er right at Whiskey. Continue taxi via Bravo, Echo Whiskey.
Whatever. Crossing 19er right at Whiskey. Continue via Bravo Echo Whiskey for Upjet 902. I'm not really mad, guys. I don't care. I'm doing this to test it out. I'm doing my own thing now.
1937, ready to taxi to the active.
All right, so we're going to look for Echo here. We're going to make a right.
1937, runway 26 right taxi via Charlie, Bravo.
Runway 26.
We're doing that Southwest taxi here.
Southwest 1937.
We're going to look for Whiskey.
Southwest 3475, gate Charlie Tree. Request pushback and engine start.
Southwest 3475, Las Vegas ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face southeast.
Element, what up, brother? Yeah, man. About to finish the night here. We just got to Vegas on the Citation 10. Beyond ATC is being a pain in the ass, so I'm just doing my own thing here. I am breaking all kinds of rules here. Okay, here's Whiskey. We're going to cross 19er right because we do what the hell we want. Landing lights coming on. Strobes on.
Sky West 674, gate Delta 36. Request pushback.
Skywest 674, Las Vegas ground, pushback approved. Face northeast.
Clear on the left,
Pushback
clear on the
and
right.
engine start approved. Face northeast, Sky West 674.
All right, strobes off. Landing lights off. I think I see a Sovereign up there. There we go. There's a ramp. I see ground crew there. Let's see where we can enter here. I'm unfamiliar, so let me look real quick. Okay, I can just go left on hotel here and come around. Let's get that APU started.
1369 ready to taxi to the active.
United 1369, runway 26 right taxi via Charlie 3, Charlie, Bravo.
Runway 26 right via Charlie Tree, Charlie Bravo, United 1369.
Southwest 3475, taxi for departure.
All right, I'm switching frequencies.
Southwest 3475.
I'm tired of listening to this, people. Oh, their signature. Perfect. Maybe I should have just set the FBO by name. You know what? That's my fault, guys. I should have specified signature. Maybe Beyond ATC now recognizes the FBOs by name. All right, APU is online. Let's get that generator on. Let's see what we have here. The Trijets, yeah, Falcon has the 900. They've got the 50, the 7X, the 8X, and what's the other Trijet? I think that's it. Then they've got the 2000. That's the twin engine. Falcon 10, Falcon 20. Those are the dinosaurs. And then the Falcon 6X, which is a new one. Looks really funky. All right, let's find a parking spot here. I don't see any marshallers. Are those chalks on the ground? That's cool. There we go. Got a couple of Sovereign Pluses here. There's another Sovereign. Phenom. Taxi light is off. Let's park right here, next to our brethren. All right, we're going to go ahead and set that parking brake. Wing inspection light can come off. Keep the ground recognition light on. Tail flood on. Recognition lights can go off. Let's get our bleeder on from the APU. And Cut off. No. No. What are you doing? What are you doing? There we go. All right. Engines off. APU's running. Hell yeah. Got a flight plan. I don't know how to reset it here on the CDU. Ground recognition light can come off. Passenger seatbelt signs off. We'll keep nav lights as is. All that looks good. Let's go ahead and hop off and see what's up. Oh, cabin lighting. Whoops. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. How do I open the door? Noob moment here. I don't even know how to operate. Here it is. That's the handle. No? Oh, God, I suck. No, that's the cabin doors. There we go. Let's step outside, shall we? And there you have it, folks. Let's see how we park. There's the chocks. Oh, speed brakes are still out. Whoops. All right. And they are retracted. I'm looking at my Honeycomb Bravo here, and they're retracted, so whatever. I'm going to ignore that. All right, let's go open up the cargo door. And here's the Sovereign, by the way, like we were talking about earlier. Decently modeled. You can tell it's a Sovereign, but our fellow brethren here of the Citation 10. Let's go open the cargo door here. Luggage. Post-flight, checking out the bird, making sure we didn't hit any birds or anything. Everything looks intact. I'd say that was a good flight, guys. So, what do I think about Beyond ATC right now? Well, I'm a little disappointed. I've gotten spoiled by Say Intentions, and I think I will be sticking to them for a long time, right? Again, could be my fault. I should have understood better the terminology and the phraseology that Beyond ATC recognizes now. For the most part, everything worked. It was just, again, that those nuances when we taxied in and were requesting taxi. I don't know. You guys make your own determination there. Sorry about not being able to look at the chat as often, guys. I was just coming in and focusing on finishing the flight here. So let's see what they're saying. Element saying the Falcon 10X is the new one, kind of ugly, but the 7X, 8X, and 9X look awesome. I agree. That 6X and the 10X, they are horrendous looking, man. And Falcon always uses those skateboard landing gear. I call them skateboard. Tiny gear, especially on the nose wheel. But it works for them. They're still phenomenal jets. And yeah, Contrail's Falcon 50 Element. Yeah, I'm waiting for that one too. When I was at the Sim Expo last year, when they announced that, I was like, hell yeah, that's going to be a fun one. PDX saying, another great flight, Gonzo. Always love them. Thanks. The angry screaming controller was a treat. My treat, brother. My pleasure. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for tuning in once again. And Element saying, so since you're running a 5090, you literally never have to worry about VRAM, huh? You just run everything max. Yes, that is correct, sir. I went full potato and I bought a 5090. I remember when my wife asked me why, I said because YouTube and video editing. But yeah, when I fly VR, that's when I really start to tweak settings a little bit, because even with a 5090, VR is a pain in the rear, man. But yeah, she handles monitor in 4K perfectly fine. Adam, Beyond ATC is pretty unforgiving in phraseology, but I'm hoping they are going to be working on it with VFR coming. It's not there yet, but worth supporting if you can. It can be good one day. Agreed. And I will continue to pay for Beyond ATC and Say Intentions, but in the meantime, I'm going to stick with Say Intentions. I just feel like it's, again, more authentic. It feels more fine-tuned, both for VFR and IFR, and now they're featuring pop-up IFR, which is still a little quirky, but it works for the most part. You get the idea. You just have to figure out, once you do request a pop-up IFR, just figure out how to go from there. But yeah, they're both great, man. Both have their distinct advantages and disadvantages. Yeah, Element, if you get that 5090, you're going to be mind blown. I mean, right now, I wish I had the FPS counter, but I'm probably in the 90s, maybe 80s, easily at 4K native. So can't complain with that, man. And the FlightFX, the Citation 10, very, very friendly on performance. You don't have to worry about taking a hit, man. That's another thing that I love about them. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get off the air. I'm going to go get myself settled for tomorrow. I got to be up a little bit early. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate the comments, the interaction with me throughout this flight. I hope you enjoyed it. and I hope it gives you an insight of what Beyond ATC is currently doing. Again, not a bad product. It's just not as finely refined as I find Say Intentions to be. Now, I could be biased. You guys make your decision if you haven't purchased either or. My recommendation, go with Say Intentions. You're going to have a much more better experience. Truck Insane, I only have a 4060. 4060 can still handle, trust me. 4060 is not a bad card by any means, man. It should be able to fly easy. Element, I'm in the hotel in Destin. Love the Citation 10, but I can't wait till we get the 6680, the Sovereign. We need more business jets. Global coming soon. Yes, I can't wait, man. All right, brother. Well, you stay safe out there. Element, have fun, man, on your return leg whenever that happens. Again, thanks for sending me that photo in the video. That was awesome, brother. Well, guys, smooth landings, happy flying. Captain Gonzo here with that Flight Sim channel, checking out. We'll see you on the next one. Later, boys and girls. You too, Adam. Thanks, brother.